Howdy peeps, and welcome to the next installment of BitszuCraft. Alrighty, in today's episode, we're going to get started on a little bit of farm automation. Yeah, I figure it's about time we start amassing some resources. Okie dokie, let's get to her. But before we get going on building that, let me show you guys some stuff. Today's episode was supposed to be another walkabout, but for whatever reason, that footage got lost. So, oh yeah, let's start in the garden. I did find some beets. That's always good. So we've got wheat, we've got potatoes, we've got carrots, we've got beetroot, and this is a pumpkin. Yeah, found some pumpkin. On top of that, let's see what we have in the goodie chest. Well, not much as far as flowers are concerned, but check it out. We got some snow, a single lonely lily pad. Did manage to get a dark oak all the way back home. And yeah, the reason I'm just showing this to you now is all of that footage actually got lost somehow. It was weird. It was just blank video and lots of audio. So there's my moo-moo cows, my piggoos. I got another chicken. I ended up collecting a bunch of eggs while I was out and just chucked them in here until one of them hatched. And I've been breeding these suckers up. And the most important thing, you probably glimpsed over my shoulder. Ta-da! We have a puppy! In fact, we have puppies, plural. Yes, look at these guys. When I went, I had only 10 bones. And this guy here, the big jerk, he took 8 bones to tame. But then, I got really super lucky. This guy, a single bone. And this guy over here, a single bone. So, in honor of one of my viewers, this guy here is going to be Pickles. Hello, Pickles. I'm going to need to find me some cactus somewhere so I can actually dye his collar green. But you guys will have to give me some other hints here, some other tips, some other... Yeah, I need names for these two. So let's get some comments down below, and you guys tell me what you think I should be naming these suckers. Because, yeah, we have doggos now. Anywho, off to the build. In today's build, I'm planning on making an automatic sugarcane farm. Yes, we're going to need an absolute ton of paper in order to start building our library upstairs. Yeah, we need books aplenty so we can get started enchanting. So, I figured what better way to do that than just to automate farming of sugarcane. And now, as far as placement is concerned, I want it close enough to the house that it will, you know, it'll be loaded and it'll be active, but I want it far enough away that it doesn't just feel like an outbuilding of the house. I am planning on connecting the house to the village with a path and then having buildings on either side and making it feel like more of a city and giving a place to hide all these contraptions and stuff like that. So I think that the sugarcane farm will get its own building, maybe right around somewhere up here. I don't know. It's tough. This little bowl here maybe should be like some kind of a park or something. So not too close to that. Let's just plop it right down here. Why the heck not? All right, there we go. So we're going to need to do a little bit of terraforming, and I might as well set up a workstation for us. I didn't bring any extra wood. Crumb. Oh well. So I'll clear out this spot, and then we will get started on building the actual contraption. And once that's in place, we'll try to make a building around it. All right. Okay, folks, for this particular build, you're going to need an area that is 5 wide and 13 deep. This build was developed by Skippy over at Skippy6 Gaming, and this is a build I've been using for years just because it's fairly efficient, it's nice and quick, and you can just kind of stuff it wherever. I usually stick it kind of in a mine entrance and ridiculous places like that. Anyway, I will leave a link to his tutorial down in the description, but yeah, let's get started. Okay, so... Where am I? So that is 1, 2, 3 for the redstone, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the goodies, and then 2 for, yeah, there we go. So right here will be the very front of the setup. Yeah, that'll work. In fact, I'm gonna extend that by one, and I'm gonna use a double chest instead of just a single chest here. So let's slap our chest down and plop that into place. Boop, boop. And into that we are going to need our single hopper. And, oops, that's not crouch. That's crouch. There we go. Now, on either side of that, oh, I got dirt aplenty. Oh, I guess from digging this out, hey? On either side of this, we will need our place where our sugarcane will be growing. So we'll go back eight blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And throw my cobble into my, there we go. Any old block there. And then back again. And oh, what the hey, we might as well plant this junk right now. We will slap our water bucket down and we will plant our sugarcane right away. There. I don't have quite enough to fill it, but alright. I'm not going to work through the night. I'll be back. And then we need a row of blocks right directly behind where the where the sugarcane is planted. And then on top of those, we will be placing some pistons facing inward. Ugh, that's not a piston. Does that look like a piston? No, that's very much not a piston. There we go. And the same on this side. Donkey, get out of here. Go on, get. Okay, and then above and one in from those pistons, we will need another row of solid blocks. So let's just throw some dirt down as a junk block. And then we will just slap more cobble there. Not there. Come on, man. Now in the top here, we're going to just stick a couple of blocks of glowstone, just so that it's got plenty of light down there for these critters to grow, and so that we can cut down on mob spawnage, because that would make anyone's day into a bad one. And then we'll seal the sucker off. And there's the beginnings of it. Okay, now to get to the redstoning. Well, we'll have to zoop around to the back here. And this is where things get a little bit goofy. Okay, I think that and that need to also be solid blocks. Now let me think. It's been a while since I've actually made one of these. No, wait, that's not a solid block. That needs to be a piston facing up. And same here. And I'm dropping stuff. There we go. And then the next thing I need is 2 blocks of sand, which I am fresh out of. So I gotta run go grab some. I'll be right back. Okay, now on top of these two, boop, boop, you put sand. And then there needs to be a block directly in front of that guy. And here's where things get a little bit weird. We need the donkey to get out of the way. And furnaces. Yeah, I know, this seems strange, but if you plop a furnace down, and then you have your comparator leading out of this block, when we put an item in the furnace that can't be smelted, what the heck, let's use seeds. Boom. That, you see, will power it. So that's our power source. Ow. And we're going to take that power and travel it along the top, and we're going to turn this whole system, oops, that's the side that's already got one, into a giant bud switch. So every time there's a block update, every one of these pistons will fire. Okay, so it comes out of that comparator into a solid block, and then it comes up at the diagonal into here. And then it's just simply a dot of redstone on each of these. And then what the heck is it? Then it's, I think, well, I know it's redstone all the way across here. It's been a while since I've built one of these now. Even though this is one of my favorite designs, I'm kinda out of practice. Oh yeah, that needs to be a solid block there. And then I believe it's just a repeater on top of each of those, and we should be good to go. Let's see, did I do this properly? Plop. And plop. Alright, let's see, does this bud? Oh yeah! Excellent. There, now every time there's a block update along this line, or more importantly, along this line, every one of these pistons will fire. So it'll break off all of this sugarcane, throw it into the water stream, and then boop, straight into the chest. Bob's your uncle. Excellent. Well, that is that. Now let's just cover this all up so that we don't end up with any baddies or anything nasty happening in there. And now let's start the aesthetics. Okay, this needs a building around it. Okay, so now we need some supplies to turn this into a building. I'll go harvest some cobble, smelt some stone, and hack down a couple of trees. I'll be right back. Well, that's a good sign. The amount of time it took us to run back to the house just to grab all of this junk and this junk here, it already made 7 sugar canes. That's awesome. That also means that we're close enough at the house that this thing is still loaded and running. So that's good news. That's beautiful. All right, we'll plop that guy back in there. And now we can seal this guy off. So let's do so. And I'm out of glass already. That's not cool. I thought I had more than that. Oh well. That's a start. I'll just leave the top open for now, and we can glass it off later on. Okay, now, as far as a building is concerned, this little portion here, that's going to need to be something in actual flooring, I think. Now, come to think of it, this guy here can probably be cobblestone, and that'll cover that dirt behind it. Yeah, let's waste some glass. Oops, didn't think that through. And this is going to be an odd one because I'm going to start with the interior, it looks like. Oh well, let's see what happens. And we'll want that at least one ahead. There we go. Now what should I make the flooring out of? Do a stone brick floor and a wooden structure? That might look kind of cool. Let's give it a shot. And instead of putting stone brick up there to cover that, right here to cover the dirt, I think that would detract from it as a flooring block. It would make it look more like stone bricks instead of like tiled flooring, so we'll just use some cobble there. Good enough. And bring some lighter color in here. Yay! I love it when a plan comes together. Cool, cool, cool. Now, as far as the size of the building, don't want just a tiny little opening like that, like the door here and walk in and boom, this is all you get. I'm gonna make it one bigger, I think, all the way around. Yeah, it's a better size. Put the doorway right here. Of course, I put this stuff right in the way. Isn't that always the case? Yeah, throw down a chest and a work table so that while you're doing a build, you've got access to everything you're going to need, and invariably you end up sticking it right in your own dang way. Okay, now, what exactly am I going to build this out of? Ooh, there's a thought. I'm gonna try like a mock Tudor looking thing. Yeah. I'll do structure in dark oak because it looks awesome, and then I will make the walls out of white wool. Yeah, let's see what that's gonna look like. Okay, so if that's where the wall is, then the... Ooh, do I want it in or do I want it actually sticking out? I'll make it sticking out. Okay, boop. And... that feels bigger than I was anticipating. Oh well. Okay, 3 high. And we'll do a beam across and a beam across here, but how far back do I want this guy to go? I think I'll just have building to this point, and then that will just be covered by roof. Yeah. So in that case, let's go to just this spot right here. That'll work. Excellent. I'm going to need some scaffold to get up and down. And let's try... That might be kind of ridiculous looking, but let's try it. I want to put... I don't want the ends of the logs showing, so I'm going to put some stone bricks up there. Whenever I do this kind of thing, I always feel like a Warner Brothers character, you know? How they'd like stick a 2x4 out the window and then walk to the end and then balance another 2x4 on it and just make a bridge between two buildings, that kind of thing. So ridiculous. There we go. And we'll put a second story on it. That will be recessed by one. And only 2 tall. Sure, why not? Just kind of making it up as I go. You've seen, that's pretty much the way I build anything in this game, isn't it? Now, how does that feel from over here? Yeah, that'll be kind of cute. And then the top floor will have a nice overhang. And I'll just fill that all in with white wool. And I will put a frame around this central door. Also in the wood. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, got a spruce door. That'll look funky. Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to go shear a bunch of sheep and figure out what the heck I want to do for the roof on this guy. be right back. Alrighty, back again. I got myself a stack and a bit of wool, and I decided I would smelt down that netherrack and turn it into nether bricks. Yeah, I figure a nether brick roof would look pretty cool. It's nice and dark, but it's got that hint of red to it, and I think that will be interesting. So let's knock some of this junk out of here, and that's a lovely sound. Look at that. Bloop. There. Got the basic shape down. I'm going to want to raise that by 1. Now the question is, why is this in my way? No. The question is, do I want to make the second story white as well, or do I use maybe gray wool up there? That could look kind of interesting. Okay, there more or less is what she's starting to look like. I decided to go with white on the top rather than change up the color, and I'm just going to put a simple, probably a lowish peak just straight across, and I'm going to continue that back and extend it past the building proper, and maybe have it come about halfway across this, just to kind of cover up some of this. And the back end, I just don't want roof all the way to back here. That might look kind of silly. I'll probably end up covering some of this in dirt and just making it look like part of the hillside that this is backed into. Alright, let's pop up here and see what this roof is going to look like. I made up some nether brick stairs and slabs. I wasn't sure how many of each I was going to need, so I just left the rest of my bricks in brick. Okay, so if that's a slab, and that's a brick, and that's a slab, I mean, slab, stair, slab, stair, slab, stair, might work. Let's try that out, shall we? And is it too zigzaggy? That is a goofy shape. I wonder if I'd be better off with just slab, 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 slabbity, slab, and then it would stay nice and low. And then I could, yeah, let's try that out instead. Plop. 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 And I got one more to go before I hit the center. I could just leave that flat 3 across and then bring it down again. Reuse a whole block, perhaps. Well, first off, let's make us a ton more slabs. Man, I'm gonna have to run back to the nether at some point and gather up some more netherrack really quick. Okay, I'll finish that off, and I'll take it straight back and show you once we hit that point. Alright, and there it is with the roof on it. I also added a couple little supports in the corners just to break up that wall a little bit. I think that makes it look a little bit better. And I'll take you around the side. I dropped the roof down by 1. Extended it out only about halfway. And I decided to encase the whole mechanism in a layer of cobblestone, just in case of any creepers back here. And then I just threw some dirt over top of it. I'll probably have to do a little bit of landscaping back here just to make this hill look a bit more natural. I gave a start to it, but haven't gone too far. At the very least, I'll throw some, tall grass and a couple of flowers and junk up there. But other than that, I think it is done. So at this point, I'm going to call the build finished and say goodbye. Alright, as always, if you like what you see, go ahead and smack that like button, and if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. Any comments, suggestions, ideas for what to build next, go ahead and leave some comments down below. Alrighty, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!